There were two things that really attracted me to this project. The first was that I'd be working with a great group of people engaged at the cutting edge of using social media in social work to create a really useful resource for our community. The second was the recognition that as a profession, social work needs resources such as this book to help us explore further the potential and pitfalls of using social media in our personal and professional lives. So when I was asked to contribute a chapter, I really couldn't say no. My chapter explores how apps like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube have started to blur personal and professional boundaries. Unlike the pre-social media era, we now face a whole new set of ethical dilemmas as professionals. My chapter illustrates how we can prepare professionals for this new reality. It begins by exploring why social workers should access learning about social media. Then it illustrates in detail how educators can use apps like Facebook and approaches like inquiry-based blended learning to prepare professionals for social work practice in a social media age. The chapter also assesses the effectiveness of this approach in developing learning around professionalism and social media. So, if you want to use apps like Facebook to teach learners about the ethics of social media use, then this chapter will be of real interest to you. Social media can potentially offer quite a lot to social work education. For example, when I was in practice, if I faced a dilemma and needed advice, I would rely on the practice wisdom within my team. Now, if you have access to a mobile phone and a network developed through something like Twitter, suddenly you have access to a potentially worldwide community of practitioners, learners, students, and service users. Tapping into this network means that you have 24-hour, 7 days a week access to a worldwide community of people who can potentially help you reflect upon and develop your practice. This collective wisdom, accessed through social media, can fundamentally change the way we teach and learn about social work. The challenge for social work education, though, is to find ways of teaching learners how to tap into this resource. This is where I think this book will be really useful. My advice to those interested in using social media in social work is to dip your toe in. Don't be afraid to use the medium. Use the different apps available to you and explore their potential, but also be mindful of potential pitfalls. Use resources like this book to learn how to develop your own networks, to share, discuss and develop your own approaches, to improve and enhance what we already do in the field of social work education and practice.